Hello, welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree, and this is a reading for the energy of Scorpio. I had to take a little bit of my green tea sip. I had a brookie. Have y'all ever heard of a brookie? It's a cookie and a brownie, and it's very sweet. Actually, I have a little piece right here. And it's super good. Okay, I digress. All right, Scorpio. Time for me to do a reading for you. I'm using Cirque du Tarot, and I'm also going to use Bone Stone Tarot for you as well. All right. Let's use Bone Stone as the three main energies. Okay, so Scorpio, this is for all placements in Scorpio. And even if you don't have a planet in Scorpio, you have a house in Scorpio. So we can always call upon any of these energies in the zodiacal ecliptic to be used at any time. All right. It just might be a little bit easier for some people than others to call upon these energies, but they are there and they are available. Just takes a little bit of practice. All right. And Scorpios are very deep individuals. Okay. They can be secretive. But they are individuals that like to go deep. They are comfortable in those dark spots, and they are great friends. They are loyal. And tropically, I am a Scorpio sun. All right, Scorpio, let's see what your three main energies are. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Swords in reverse. All right, so two air energies and one earth energy. Okay. So I feel like there might be kind of a situation going on in which you have to decide between two different things. That is the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Pentacles in between the King of Pentacles and the Five of Swords in reverse. So Five of Swords usually speaks of maybe an argument or, you know, some kind of situation in which parties don't agree upon. That being in the air suit, I kind of feel like there might be maybe a miscommunication. On the other side of that, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And so he's air of earth. So interestingly, we have an air sword over here. We have a Two of Pentacles here. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which is air and earth, right? So there's something definitely that's going on in maybe a communication situation, probably expressing something that is kind of causing turmoil in the physical realm. Okay. This microphone. Let me see if I can get it better. Hang on one second. Going to pause this really. That might work a little bit better. Okay, hopefully the audio didn't change too much. You know, me. And, oh, I don't even want to talk about it. All right, so let's see what's going on, Scorpio. Long time ago, I used to watch this tarot reader. I cannot remember her name. I cannot remember her channel. But she used to call Scorpio Scorporo. And she would do a little dance and Scorporo, Scorporo, you know, just so excited about Scorpios. And I love that about her because I am a tropical Scorpio sun. All right, Scorps, let's see what's going on. Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Cups, Death in reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse, Ten of Cups in reverse. Lots of reversals today. Three of Wands, the Empress in reverse, the Moon in reverse, and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. So definitely with all of these reversals, there is a situation going on in which things are not clear. Things are not being communicated properly, and that's causing a kind of a bit of a holdup here. And it's like you might have a decision to make as to whether or not you want to stay in this energy, or if you want to kind of fight through it. Now, at the bottom of the deck, of the Bone Stone Tarot, we have the Moon, and at the bottom of the deck of the Cirque du Tarot, we have the Emperor. So we also have the Moon of in part of your card pool, the Moon in reverse. So we have the Moon twice. So so there is something that's going on beneath the surface that needs to be understood a little bit more. I also have some cacao over here. I am a drinker. I like my drinks. So I'm trying to offset the sweetness of that brookie with my my green tea. And I don't have too much of it left. All right. So King of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, and the Empress. So there could be a situation in which two of these parties, there is a connection, an emotional connection. However, I feel like that emotional connection is kind of being tested right now. There might be an actual, maybe even cut off between that person, because with the Empress in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse as well, it seems like those resources aren't being put into that relationship at the moment. And right next to the Two of Cups, we have the Death and the Death card in reverse. And that is a transitionary card, right? That's a card of change, of transformation. And that usually means that something is ending, but it's ending to turn into something else. So what I'm seeing here is that there might be a lesson that needs to come out of this situation for you, Scorpio. We do have the Eight of Swords right next to Death. And this card speaks about kind of being in your own prison. Like, I call this like the mental mind tornado, right? Things that we ruminate on, and then we make them so much worse in our mind than they actually are, or what they even started out to be. So this connection that was broken is kind of being tested at the moment. Now, Death, with it being in reverse, I don't really see that it's actually kind of changing, but it has the potential to change. And all right, I had to pause the video. You know, I have children that need to let me know when they are going to their friend's house. Okay, so back to that. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, so we go through this mental mind tornado thing, and we kind of make things a little bit worse than they normally are, right? Did I already say that? I think I did, but then I was talking about Death. So with Death being in reverse, this relationship has the potential to change or maybe even end. Death is in reverse, so this is not showing that it's definitely going to, but I think that's where your decision is coming from. This situation that you find yourself in. I find, well, it seems that you might be teetering between two different ways to go, right? Two different realities. You know, if I cut this relationship off, it's going to be like this. If I don't cut this relationship off, it's going to be like this. And that's very true, right? So this decision that you have to make, this life altering decision, this is going to change your life a little bit because of this Two of Cups connection. And it's kind of up to you if you want to put the energy in to figuring out what this situation is. And I think that's what the King of Pentacles is here to say, right? He is air of fire. So there's passion in here. There's a logical aspect of it too. So he has the ability to look at something logically, kind of make a plan, and then execute that plan, right? And I'm seeing that you're kind of not even sure if you want to put that energy into that because of the situation, right? Maybe this relationship, this connection that just might be the way that it always goes. Maybe this is not the first time that it happened, or maybe this has happened to you before from a previous situation, and you might not be wanting to go down that road again. And so I think that's where the conflict kind of comes into view. And then we've got the moon in reverse at the bottom. So I feel like you might not have all the information that's needed. Like there's definitely some things below the surface that needs to be dealt with, right? And as a Scorpio, I think you're happy to go down into those depths and try to figure it out. It's just that whether or not you want to put in this energy to figuring it out. And sometimes we've got other things to do, right? So with this conflict over here on this side of the table, we've got the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 3 of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, and the 5 of Swords in reverse. So, this is a definite situation in which you're pretty upset about, right? You don't really. I mean, to me, it looks like you feel like this is the end all be all, and you're tired of messing with this. You kind of had it up to here, and you don't want to keep bringing it up there. So that is what I'm seeing here, and I don't see an obvious answer, but we can pull an oracle card and see what the oracle has to say. So I'm using the messenger oracle, and but ultimately, this is your decision. Like, do you want to put this energy into keeping this relationship alive, right? It doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can be a friendship. It can even be a family member. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to cut off families, but I have a family member who I haven't talked to for quite some time, and it's because I felt like I was wronged, and I wasn't being heard, and I don't I can't pretend like nothing happened. It's a huge deal to me what happened, and for it just to be ignored and not even want to talk about, and that in it of itself is really painful, and I don't want to be around that energy, we'll say, that is okay with that. So I completely understand not wanting to deal with the situation. And actually, I feel your pain. 10 of Cups, 3 of Wands, Ace of Swords, all in reverse, right? I feel your pain, all under the 5 of Swords in reverse. And I can understand why you wouldn't want to put in the time, the energy, your resources into this. But there is always a flip side, right? Working this out is going to heal a part of you. Okay. Same with me. If we were to work it out, it would heal a part of me. But I'm not willing to do that right now. Maybe next lifetime. All right. Let's see what kind of messenger oracle we have for you. Oh, look at this cute little dragon kitty. Know you belong. Oh my gosh, I love this dragon kitty so much. It is a white dragon kitty. Okay, let's see. I don't know my ABCs. Okay. You have a place. You have a purpose. You are special. Do not accept change. No, I'm sorry. Do not change who you are just so others might accept you. Do not dishonor your truths by allowing someone else to tell you who you must be. Amen to that, right? Change made just so you fit in with the expectations or social criteria of a clique or group does not honor you. You do not need to change in order to belong. You are a blessed child of Gaia and a great spirit, and belong simply because you are. And that is so true. You don't have to change who you are just because, someone doesn't want to acknowledge it, or because someone, whatever it is, you You have your feelings because of who you are, and your feelings should always be at least acknowledged. Not everybody has to agree with it, fine, but they should at least be acknowledged, right? And by us, um, what's the word? By us not honoring that really not changes. By us not honoring who we are, kind of hides a part of ourselves. So I hope that helps you, Scorpio. Please let me know in the comments. And if you know of anybody who can benefit from this reading, please share, even if they don't have a placement in Scorpio, because you know what I said. Um, Even if we don't have a placement in Scorpio, we still have a house in Scorpio. All right, take care, and I will see you next video. Bye now.